Yes guys, what's up? So it's been a long time coming since I've wanted to do this video. A lot of people have been asking for it, so here it is. I'm wearing this shirt and tie because I've been to an event. Bear with my throat a little bit because I've been to this event and I was shouting a lot in the event, so you have to bear with my throat. But okay, so let's get straight into the video. Amir King Khan versus Devon Alexander has been announced. Okay, where to start with this video, because I really feel... In fact, let me just get a timer because I know this video is going to get a little bit long. Okay, so I want to like time myself, you know. So, I know where I'm at. Right, so the Amir Khan versus Devon Alexander fight's been announced. A lot of people are saying that, first of all, these are two bums fighting. There are people saying that Devon Alexander is a bum. Why is Amir Khan not fighting the best? People are saying this fight does not warrant the winner a shot at Floyd Mayweather Jr. People are saying a lot of things. Let me just cast your mind back to a few months ago, not too long ago, when we had Danny Swift Garcia facing Rod Salka. Okay, a lot of people wanted to see Amir Khan versus Robert the Ghost Guerrero. I'm going to cover all these issues in this video, and I'm going to give you the true, honest, my take, right, on what I think about all these different things. Now, I'm going to address all these issues, and here's the thing. First of all, I think this is a brilliant, brilliant fight. I think this is better than the Robert Guerrero fight. Personally, everyone knows that I wanted to see Amir Khan rematch Danny Swift Garcia, but I think that at this moment in time, that fight cannot happen due to multiple reasons. I think that Danny Garcia himself, we're not sure if he's moving up to 147, and I think that Amir Khan currently, he's in a situation where he wants to fight Floyd Mayweather Jr. And this brings me on to the Robert Guerrero issue as well, where people are like, why didn't you fight Robert the Ghost Guerrero? Well, Robert Guerrero just fought Kamagai, okay? And Kamagai did not look good. You hear me? Robert Guerrero did not look that good against Kamagai. And the thing's this, Kamagai, who is Kamagai? You know, yeah, he's a decent fighter, good, but I mean, did Robert Guerrero look stellar? No. Who looked more stellar? Devon Alexander against Soto Corras or Robert Guerrero against Kamagai? Because, you know, they say you can only go by a person's last fight, and we have to go with Alexander. He looked a lot better than Soto Corras. I think not only that, I think Devon Alexander, in my opinion, I think Devon Alexander's a brilliant fighter. I think that Devon Alexander is highly underrated. I think that we fall back onto Devon Alexander's amateur career, and I disagree with people who say amateur means nothing, because if amateur meant nothing, then why would you have Sugar Ray Leonard, Muhammad Ali, George Foreman, Joe Frazier? Numerous Olympians have come onto the world scene of boxing, you know, and really smashed it on the pro ranks. And it's very common that you get this. It is very common, and I think that an amateur record will give you an indication, similar to what Roy Jones said recently. An amateur pedigree gives you an indication of how good a fighter will be in the pro ranks. It gives an indication, you know. It's not the be-all, end-all, but it does give an indication. I think that Devon Alexander had a stellar amateur record. He had 300 wins and only a few losses. And the thing is, to get that, Devon Alexander has to be a very tremendous boxer, which I believe he is. I think that Devon Alexander, though, in the loss against Sean Porter and Timothy Bradley, Bradley fought the Provodnikov-style fight, which is not the boxer Bradley, it was the brawler Bradley that came out. Sean Porter also out-hustled Alexander, pushed it, and you've got to remember that the loss that Devon Alexander suffered against Sean Porter, the situation is this, that Sean Porter, he just used his physical attributes, and he also was a very good amateur, a very good fighter, Sean Porter. Just because he got beat by Kell Brook does not mean that Sean Porter is rubbish. Sean Porter is a very good fighter. But I think Devon Alexander lost to him because of numerous reasons. I think that if you look up to the build-up, he was supposed to fight Amir Khan. That didn't happen. He then went, you know, and he had these issues going on. He was meant to fight Kell Brook twice. He had lots of stuff going on, and it was like, this fight wasn't happening, that fight wasn't happening. It was like Kell Brook got cancelled like 3 times, something ridiculous. And it's like, just get me in the ring. Put him in with Sean Porter. Sean Porter outsold him on the night. Alexander had a lot of frustration. And you know, that does play, it does play a role, but I'm not making excuses for Alexander, but that does play a role. So, we go on Alexander's record. I mean, look at the wins that he's got. He has beaten a number of fighters. He's had a good record. But we look at Devon Alexander and you think to yourself, does this guy carry pop? And, you know, the way I look at this is this. Does Paulie Malignaggi carry pop? At 147, right? It's like, no. Paulie is a boxer. And to me, Alexander carries more pop than someone like a Paulie Malignaggi. But, like, the thing's this. The thing in question is Amir Khan's chin, okay? That's the thing in question. This fight makes perfect sense because Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Devon Alexander, I would say they have more or less a similar punching power. You know? They don't punch like Marcus El Chino Maidana. They don't punch like, who else is a big puncher at 147? They just don't punch like a Marcus Maidana or Keith Thurman. They don't punch like that. But at the same time, they don't punch as soft as a Paulie Malignaggi. They're somewhere in between. They've got decent punching power, okay? Decent to non-knockout power, you know? Like, it's in between that mid to lower range they've got. But they're not totally pillow-fisted. They can knock people out. So, the thing in question is Amir Khan's chin, right? And it's the same thing. It's boxer versus boxer. Devon Alexander has tremendous boxing IQ. And I mean, if, say, Amir Khan comes into this fight and he demolishes Devon Alexander, tell me that doesn't warrant a Floyd Mayweather Jr. fight because he just demolished a boxer. You know, a very good level boxer. An A-level boxer, in my opinion, is Devon Alexander. I think as a boxer, Devon Alexander is very difficult to outbox. And if Amir Khan demolishes him, I don't think it would be the same if he demolished Robert the Ghost Guerrero. I liked the Robert Guerrero fight. First, but having thought about it, I'm thinking to myself now, I'm thinking, you know, Robert Guerrero, what would that prove? What would that prove? Okay? And we have to take these things into consideration when we're thinking about Mayweather Jr. because everybody knows, right, the winner of Alexander versus Alexander and Khan is very likely to get Floyd Mayweather Jr. Okay? So I've covered them issues and I'm going to cover the other issue. Why did Amir Khan not face Keith one-time Thurman? I personally feel that this was the logical fight that should have got made. I think Amir Khan versus Thurman was a brilliant fight, but the thing's this, again, yes, it would definitely get him the Floyd Mayweather Jr. fight with Keith Thurman, but then here's the thing, would it really? You know, like, we think like, yeah, Keith Thurman, if Amir Khan beat Thurman, he would definitely get the Mayweather fight, but would he really? Because I'll tell you what would really happen. What would realistically happen? Say Amir Khan fought Keith Thurman, right? Or Keith Thurman fought Amir Khan, right? We look at it both ways. Keith Thurman knocks Amir Khan out, third round knockout. People, you know what they're going to say? Oh, Thurman, I don't know. Yeah, he knocked out Amir Khan, but who's Amir Khan? Amir Khan already got knocked out by Danny Garcia. You know, it doesn't worry me about Floyd Mayweather fight. That's what people are going to say, right? People like tell me people aren't going to say that. Thurman, he's a good fighter, but he's not proven. I want to see him up against this guy. I want to see him up against that guy. He hasn't had a tremendous, you know, knockout. I can't, you know, he's a brawler. I don't see him beating Mayweather. Mayweather's beaten numerous brawlers, and that's what all Thurman is, and blah, blah, blah. That's what people are going to say, right? To correct me if I'm wrong, but people will say that, okay? Amir Khan beats Keith Thurman, 12-point decision, drops him once or twice in the fight even. What are they going to say? Keith Thurman was a bum to begin with. Keith Thurman, he hasn't fought anyone. Who did he fight? Who did he beat? Why should Amir Khan get in the ring with Floyd Mayweather? Amir Khan got knocked the hell out by Danny Garcia. Amir Khan got beaten by Lamont Peterson. And do you know what? They don't take into consideration that Floyd Mayweather can't bang. They don't take into consideration Lamont Peterson was a steroid. Right? They don't take these things into consideration. They don't take into consideration that Floyd Mayweather Jr. has not had a knockout in the past 7-8 years. They don't take these things into consideration. They just say it. They just say these things, and this is like, it's a shame, but this is what people say. And it's like, will that definitely get him the Mayweather fight? And the thing is it worth Amir Khan taking the risk of fighting a Keith Thurman right now? You know, is it worth it? I'm all for the big, risky, high, best fight the best, right? That's what I'm about. But I don't think that Devon Alexander, in the grand scheme of things, is a bad fight. You know, it makes sense. I think about it, right? Devon Alexander's a boxer, Mayweather's a boxer. Both similar punching power. Mayweather Jr. is a superior boxer. However, Devon Alexander is younger. He's looking very hungry. We know when he's on his A game, he is a brilliant fighter. We've seen his amateur pedigree is brilliant. We know the guy can really box. But the thing's this now. Amir Khan beats Devon Alexander. Does this warrant him a fight with Floyd Mayweather Jr.? I'm gonna be honest, right? It's not about does Amir Khan warrant it. Who warrants the fight with Mayweather Jr.? If not Amir Khan, right? Which everyone seems to complain about. Oh, Amir Khan doesn't deserve it. Listen, Amir Khan is a unified 140-pound world champion. Former, okay? He is close to winning a world title at 147. He's definitely in the mix, okay? Amir Khan has done way more in boxing on a whole than Kell Brook. The guy, Amir Khan, people say, who has Amir Khan beat on the elite level? Let's explain something to you. When we look at Amir Khan's opponents, right, who he's faced, he beat some very good opponents, right? And people say, oh, well, Maidana wasn't with Robert Garcia. People say Andreas Kotelnik wasn't that good, right? But Andreas Kotelnik was a very good fighter. In fact, it brings me on to the next point. Devon Alexander lost to Andreas Kotelnik. There was a poll that took place, and I'm not knocking Devon. Devon, you're a brilliant fighter, but 70% of people in this poll said that Devon Alexander lost the fight to Andreas Kotelnik, okay? And my thing's this. I'm not going to give my comment whether I felt he won the fight or not because it's irrelevant, but 70% of people felt he lost the fight to Andreas Kotelnik. Amir Khan beat Kotelnik, okay? Kotelnik was a good fighter, a very good fighter. Kotelnik also beat Elchino Maidana, if I'm correct. Kotelnik was a very good fighter. Amir Khan outpointed him for over 12 rounds and outboxed the crap out of him. And that was an Amir Khan of old, who isn't as good as the Amir Khan the Virtual Hunter, in my opinion. I was very wary of Virgil Hunter when Amir Khan was when he fought Julio Diaz. I was like, what? Why is he with him? But it's like, once he's hydrated up fully to 147 pounds, I think the 143 pound catchweight fight against Julio Diaz with Amir Khan, first of all, I just want to address that as well. This video is going everywhere, but I'm really trying to cram a lot of things into this video. The 143 pound catchweight fight against Julio Diaz, in my opinion, was, I think, a bad fight for Amir, because he was fighting a 147 pound fighter who fully hydrates 147 pounds, and Amir Khan was at 140. He hadn't built up to 147 yet, okay? He built up in to the 147 weight category fully, 100% conditioned himself when he was facing Luis Collazo, right? And he really took training seriously, and we saw a real improvement in footwork. We saw a huge improvement. So, my thing's this, right? That 143 pound catchweight fight with Julio Diaz was not, in my opinion, a true reflection of Amir Khan at his best. That's my opinion. I think if Amir Khan faced Julio Diaz now, I think Amir Khan would destroy Julio Diaz. Stoppage. So, we go back to this thing. Is Amir Khan really, does he warrant the Mayweather fight if he beats Devon Alexander? Because this is what this whole fight is about. Correct me if I'm wrong. This fight is an audition for Floyd Mayweather Jr. So, it's like, who has Amir Khan beat? I'm going to explain this. Amir Khan beat Kotelnik, who was a very, very good fighter. A very good, proven fighter. Kotelnik beat a number of fighters, so yeah, proven fighter. Amir Khan also demolished, outboxed for every single round, Paulie Malignaggi. Demolished Paulie. Find me a fighter that outboxed Paulie for all them rounds and bust him like that. Amir Khan faced Marcus Elchino Maidana. People say Maidana had him on the ropes, he had him running, almost knocked him out, almost. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Amir Khan never dropped. He never dropped in the fight against Maidana. So, in what manner did Maidana almost win that fight? I struggle to see where. I understand Amir Khan got hurt, but if he got dropped, I mean, he would get a 10 count, he'd get back up, but he didn't even get to that point where he got dropped and he'd have to get back up. We've seen Amir Khan get back, and he never reached that stage. He took the punches, he got hurt, he was running, he was tired, his ring generalship wasn't there in them early days, he was young, he was very, very reliant upon speed, accuracy, punching power, and range. Amir Khan also dropped Marcus Elchino Maidana. Amir Khan also outpointed Marcus Elchino Maidana for several rounds. I think about 8 rounds of the fight. I give about Maidana, say, 3 or 4 rounds, right? Chino did very well, right, in them last rounds. Amir Khan gassed out, but Amir Khan did drop him in the first round, you know, with a body shot. So, to me, if you win 8 rounds, and you drop Maidana as well, and on top of that, Marcus Elchino Maidana gets a point deduction for elbowing. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's like an extra point in the first round for the knockdown, an extra point for the elbow, and then all the other 8 rounds, you know what I mean, that you've just won, right? So, Amir Khan beat Maidana convincingly on the point scorecard, right? That's first of all. Secondly, right, with the Marcus Elchino Maidana fight, I look at it like this, right? Marcus Maidana wasn't under Robert Garcia. Marcus Maidana now, at 147, with Robert Garcia, people say he would kick Amir Khan's ass. I say, who says that? Where's the guarantee, the stamp of approval that says that? Amir Khan has also come on leaps and bounds in a different sense. We know Amir Khan now can deal with brawlers a lot better because his ring generalship, his footwork is a lot better in the ring, right? So I'm getting a lot of track, but the point is, Amir Khan has done a lot in boxing. The fighters that he has beat, Louis Collazo dropped him 3 times, won every single round in the fight. And Louis Collazo got a point deduction in that fight as well, right? Amir Khan got a point deduction in the fight as well. But think about it, every single round outboxed him, dropped him 3 times. That's like a ridiculous amount of points. Floyd Mayweather could not do that to Louis Collazo. Man, hell, Pacquiao couldn't do that to Louis Collazo. Maybe they might get a stoppage against him, but to outbox him for 12 rounds, where Louis Collazo doesn't even win 1 round, and Louis Collazo gets dropped 3 times in the fight. Find me a fighter who does that. You know, Thurman might be able to take him out of there. Maidana might be able to take him out of there. But Collazo, correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of people felt he beat Ricky Hatton, a lot of people felt he beat Andre Berto. He went up against Shane Mosley, put up a brilliant fight as well. Louis Collazo was a good fighter, right? He came off a knockout win against Victor Ortiz, and look at the fashion in which Amir Khan beat him. See, it's not always about Amir Khan beat this guy, because the truth is, Amir Khan has in his career yet not beaten an A-level elite fight which you think, wow, that guy stand out. But he tried to face the best, and it's not his fault that them fighters, right, that like Danny Garcia, right, he turned out to be something incredible, you know? He turned out to be, Amir Khan didn't realise that at the time. But the point is, the fighters that Amir Khan has beaten, he has beaten in tremendous fashion. He is the unified 140-pound world champion. He's destroyed them fighters. He destroyed Zab Judah, Maidana, outpointed him for like ridiculous. He's an unbelievable point scorer, is Amir Khan. If you look at how many rounds he's lost, you know, it's really difficult to find them. Lamont Peterson, he was on steroids. Lamont Peterson, Amir Khan got 2 points deducted in Washington, D.C. And even then, the majority of people, a really high percentage, had Amir Khan winning, despite the 2-point deductions and all the crap that's gone on. Okay? So, Amir Khan versus Devon Alexander, first of all, brilliant fight, better than the Robert Guerrero fight. Secondly, I think that Robert Guerrero did not look good in his last fights. Do you know what I mean? So, like, Devon Alexander. I think that Keith one-time Thurman, I think it's too much of a high risk, and it doesn't guarantee him the Mayweather fight. And if Keith Thurman wins, it doesn't guarantee him the fight. So why the hell take it? Because Amir Khan right now is focused on the Floyd Mayweather Jr. fight because he believes, irrespective of whether you think he can or not, he believes in his mind he can beat Mayweather. It's not about the money. It's not about the money. Trust me, I spoke to Amir. It is not about the money. It is about he believes in his mind he can beat Floyd Mayweather Jr. A lot of fighters, they think, right, I want the money. He believes he can beat him. Maidana, like, or some other fighters, they might think to themselves, you know what, I might be able to beat him, I'm going to beat him, I'm going to beat him when it comes to fight camp. But they'll not be thinking to themselves, out of all the fighters that are in the 147 division, I can definitely, 110%, I can take out Mayweather. That's the guy stylistically I can beat. Amir Khan's got that in his mind, okay? And I want to see that fight. A lot of people want to see that fight. SBM Boxing, shout out to their channel. They want to see that fight. They know that that fight is a dangerous fight for Floyd Mayweather. The hand speed, the backward ring generalship of Amir Khan that he's got under Virgil Hunter, Andre Ward in the gym, Andre Berto in the gym. We've got all these. It's amazing camp that's going on in Virgil Hunter's camp. This is amazing sparring Amir Khan's got there. Sean Porter knocks about in that camp every now and again. Amir Khan right now, he's under a totally new camp. He shined in his last fight. If he shines in the Devon Alexander fight, outboxes Devon Alexander, busts him up for 12 rounds. Tell me that Amir Khan does not deserve the unified former 140-pound world champion, look devastating 147 pound. Yes, he's been knocked out, but Mayweather Jr. does not have the power to knock out Amir Khan. He's bigger than Mayweather. He's huge as Amir Khan right now. He's huge, okay? He's going to look even better, perform even better in the Devon Alexander fight. And if Amir Khan destroys Devon Alexander, I personally feel he warrants a fight with Mayweather. I think if Devon Alexander beats Amir Khan, I'm going to be honest about this, Devon Alexander just lost to Sean Porter, but that would be an interesting fight to see Mayweather against a different style. I'd rather see him against Devon Alexander than someone like Danny Garcia. Okay? I would much rather see Devon Alexander than Danny Garcia, because Danny Garcia is a slow brawler, a brilliant fighter in his own right. The slow brawlers, when we're talking slow brawlers, we're talking George Foreman. When we're talking slow brawlers, we're talking about Joe Frazier. We're talking slow brawlers, we're talking Ken Norton. Slow brawlers, we're talking about Jake LaMotta. But they've got a place in boxing history, am I correct? I'm not disrespecting them, they're brilliant fighters. But it doesn't trouble Mayweather. Mayweather knows how to deal with that style because Mayweather is a different breed of a fighter. I'll say it. But everybody has their weakness. Mayweather Jr.'s weakness is the Zab Judah style of boxing, the box and move, the fast hands. Okay? Zab Judah is the only fighter to drop Mayweather Jr. Remember that. Only fighter to drop. Go back to the fight. Mayweather Jr.'s gloves touched the canvas. Okay? That was a 10-8 round to Zab Judah. Plus the additional rounds that he won. Very close fight. The referee didn't call that a 10-8 round. Let me know what you think of this fight. Devon Alexander versus Amir Khan. It's going to be a brilliant fight. This is not my pre-fight. It's just my thoughts on the whole situation of the fight. I'm going to do my pre-fight later. I think it's a brilliant fight. Boxer versus boxer. Keith Thurman on the undercard versus Bondo. Oh, dang, that's another good fight. Keith Thurman's my boy. Who else is there? Demetrius Andrade is on the card. Brilliant, brilliant. So many, just 3 mega fights on there. You know, Charlo. Just a brilliant fight. Sorry, just brilliant card, brilliant card. Feeling a bit tired now, so I'm going to call this one quits and call it a night. But can't wait to see it. Boxer versus boxer. It's interesting because obviously Devon Alexander has pop, but not tons of pop. Can he knock Amir Khan out? I doubt it. Truly doubt it. He needs to go in there and try to outbox Amir Khan because I think he stands a better chance at that than knocking Amir Khan out. So I believe Devon Alexander can box. Amir Khan carries power at 147 right now. I mean, to drop Louis Clauser like how he did in the last fight. Louis Clauser's a pure established 147 fighter who's fought at 154. Amir Khan did him really badly. Amir Khan's got speed. He's got boxing. He's around Andre Ward, Virgil Hunter. He's trained under Pacquiao, Roach. Amir Khan's looking, in my opinion, very, very, very dangerous right now. Let me know what you think. Comments in the section below. Subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at @Sham_Ayub. Let me know what you guys think of this fight. Devon Alexander versus Amir King Khan. Battle of the Kings. In a bit.